Hey guys, Brandon here with Exotic Cars 19, making another one of these car washing videos. This isn't going to be necessarily a whole wash on either car, but just one product test. This probably should be a pretty quick video. So on other videos I've made, I'm testing out the power washer, the foam cannon, all that kind of stuff, and it's all kind of touchless oriented for the videos I'm making here. For the most part, like I said, I do the foam cannon and I spray it off and see how clean it could get without touching the car. This is kind of along the same lines. This is some Iron X, CarPro Iron X iron remover. And if you guys have seen some car washing, some detailing videos out there, I know I have. People will use this spray on their wheels, but from the directions you can spray it on just about anything, and it will get on the tacked iron and all that stuff removed. So as you can see, it's clear, and apparently you put it on, like, let's say the wheels, and then that liquid after a couple of minutes will turn purple, and then it's removing all that iron. So anyway, and the directions also say you can put on paint or whatever else. And so I thought it would be interesting to test this out, kind of go on the touchless car wash kind of deal that I've been kind of doing. So anyway, I got this kind of just an impulse purchase decision. I was just on Amazon looking at some other car washing stuff, and it's pretty easy to impulse purchase things on Amazon. So anyway, I saw this on there as well, and I think this big bottle was about $15. I could be way off. Here's a screenshot of that, and I'll put the link to buy one in the description. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and test it out on 3 different cars and, well, 3 different wheels. I'm gonna go ahead and do it on the Corvette with the gloss black wheels. I washed it a couple of weeks ago, but it's been driven quite a bit, and the gloss black wheels are not so gloss black anymore, especially on the front with the steel brakes. Whenever they get depressed, it takes like a couple days of driving this, and then the wheels are very, very matte looking, kind of almost brown, just from the brake stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and test on that. And I'm also gonna be trying it out on my BRZ. Also has gloss black wheels, but that definitely has been driven through rain and has a ton of dirt just tacked onto it, like loose dirt as well, because I've been driving it a lot on some back dirt roads because rally car. But anyway, so this isn't really a dirt remover, it's iron remover, so we're gonna see how it works on some brake dust, some dirt, and then these are gloss black wheels, like I said, so it's gonna be kind of hard to get a basis off of it and see how the color change works. So I have my grandpa's Lincoln Town car right here with some silver wheels, so we could get an idea on that one. I say we start on the Lincoln Town car first. What I'm going to do here is actually do that on one wheel, and on the other wheel I'm only going to use water to see if there's any difference. So let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, so looking at the LCD screen, the wheel doesn't look too dirty, but really it is. Just kind of doing that, you can see how much comes off of my finger, and I'm kind of able to draw on the wheel. So it's definitely dirty, so we're going to go ahead and get it wet with just water, and then put the Iron X or whatever remover on here and see how that works. Alright, so that definitely removed some, just the water, but there's still quite a bit coming off on my finger. So with it wet, we're going to go ahead and put some of that iron remover on there. Alright, that should be plenty, and as you can see on the bottom there, it's definitely draining purple. Alright, so that wheel is all wet, it's going to do its thing. Now over here, it's been literally about a minute, and that purple's kind of seemed to settle, but like I said, 3 to 5 minutes, so I think we're going to try waiting all 5. It said just as long as it's not drying. But now, because it said that it's good for paint, I think we're going to go ahead and put the camera positioned on the front of the car, spray it on this white paint, and see if something doesn't turn purple here. I decided to probably just do this panel because the lighting is better here. So again, I'm going to do it on a wet surface. I'm going to try not to get that wheel wet because that is curing, but there we go, just slightly wet like that. Throw some of this on there. And I guess if we don't see purple, there's no iron to remove here, but it is pretty purple on the wheel. Alright, so this is actually pretty interesting. So I initially just sprayed right here and nothing was happening, so I turned the camera off. But if you look very, very closely, hopefully the camera will focus on that, there's a little bit of streaking of purple. So I guess there is some caked on iron in there. That's all kind of just crap. But right there, you see that streaking purple, so I guess there's iron tacked onto it as well. Not nearly as much as the wheel, as you can see there, how much that's bleeding. But on the bottom here as well, that's all purple. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes, any longer, and it's going to start drying on its own, and the directions said not to allow that. So we're going to go ahead and start on the painted panel here. And I don't imagine it'll be any cleaner, but we will see. So actually quite a bit of purple came off there. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick that up on the angle there. Let me move it real quick, but there's kind of a puddle of purple on the bottom of the car there. So quite a bit of iron did get removed from that paint panel. I don't know if it's any better than just hand washing it, but anyway, there's that option. Let's go ahead and take care of that wheel. Alright, and there it is. Haven't touched the car yet. Now I thought I rinsed it pretty well, but there's still a little purple puddle at the bottom here, but there's a lot of purple on the bottom of the car here. And right now, let's see, clean finger here, running it along here, and here, all throughout the wheel. I'm not picking up any more dirt actually. I don't know how much cleaner I could get it, even with the sponge and mitt and all that stuff. So that's actually not too bad. Now this wheel wasn't too terrible to start with. The other ones are. So anyway, with that said, I can confidently say that just water and then the Iron X, this has a lot less dust because I'm not getting any of it on my hands anymore. It's actually a really, really clean wheel just with the Iron X and the power washer. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the black wheels. All right, so just pulled out the BRZ. Front wheel, I'm gonna do the same thing, get it wet, and then put the Iron X over it, and the rear wheel, I'm just gonna do water. So we'll go ahead and start with the rear. Alright, so the power washer kicked off the majority of that loose dirt. So, like I said, with the black wheels, it's going to be a little harder to see this Iron X. We'll probably even put some on my paint as well in just a second. But, without any further ado, we'll go ahead and douse this. Now, I should get a close look of the brake disc there because the actual disc, the steel disc, gets really, really purple very, very quickly. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick that up. That finger is like dark, dark purple. That's just from swiping the brake disc there. That is very, very caked on with iron, I guess. Alright, so I just got this panel right here all wet, so it's good to go with this. So hopefully we'll be able to see. Maybe I don't have as much iron tacked on as my grandpa did on his town car. Like I said, I washed this not terribly long ago, maybe 2 or so weeks ago. So maybe we won't get any iron on there, but put some more on here anyway. And I can't even see if this is turning purple. Once I start power washing, actually yeah I can, because there's a little bit of purple on the ground here. But once I power wash that, I'll be able to see all the purple water. So we'll just kind of wait another 5 minutes. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes and there's absolutely nothing on my painted panel that's turning purple at all. So I guess mine didn't have any iron. So we'll go ahead and power wash that anyway. Okay, now as far as the wheel, like I said, can't see anything, so I'm going to get my clean pinky here, and it's still, let's see, a little bit of iron and all that stuff, but it's very, very loose and kind of waxy feeling. So let's go ahead and power wash this and see if we don't get like a red puddle at the bottom or something. Alright, so let me adjust the camera real quick, but as you may be able to see there, there's quite a bit of red puddle right there, so there was definitely some iron on there. So now that I did that, let's go ahead and see if I have any clean fingers left. Yeah, I'm not getting anything on my fingers anymore, so that definitely took care of the iron there. So yeah, actually not even any dirt at all is coming off. Yeah, so that seems to be working pretty well. Let's move on to the Corvette. Alright, and last but not least we have the Corvette. So both the front and rear wheels are just super, super dirty. They look more matte black than gloss black in a lot of angles. So with the Corvette, because the front wheel has a lot more brake dust on it, I'm going to go ahead and use that one for the example on using the Iron X remover. And so with the rear one, I'm just going to use water. And this one, I'm going to definitely show you guys some up close looks of the difference at the end of this. Just water and then with the Iron X. Alright, and just to show you guys just how dirty this is, the lightly streak it right there, and look how dirty that is. That is just with the brake dust, and where I streaked it, it's nice and glossy there. So go ahead and get it all wet. Alright, so obviously it looks better now. That's just because it's wet. Once it dries, it's going to go right back to that matte look, as I'll show you with the rear wheel. So we're going to go ahead and put some Iron X on here. And the brake disc is also getting very, very purple like usual. getting on the caliper as well. All right, and for the rear wheel, we're just gonna go ahead and just use the power washer only. And you know what, while we're here, let's go ahead. I already got this part wet down here, so we're gonna go ahead and put some on here and see if this part doesn't turn purple. Just the nose of the car, maybe it picks up some iron on the road. We will see. But there's also a lot of bug splatters on here, so let's see how that acts with that. I won't imagine it does anything too much. All right, so it's been a few minutes and we have a little purple streak here, and then right down the emblem, it kind of caught some iron somewhere in there. So yeah, just a little purple streak there and there, and that's kind of it. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and power wash it off. So interestingly enough, that didn't seem to do anything, but if you look on the ground here, that is all just reddish purple water that came off there. So I guess it did pick up quite a bit of iron. But from the looks of it, not too different, but I guess it's removing things that you didn't even know was there. All right, so this is kind of pretty much cured. It's been about 5 or so minutes, and when I rub it like this, my finger is purplish red. So let's go ahead and power wash that off as well. Alright, so you can see that moving stream right there, very, very red. So it definitely removed quite a bit of iron. So yeah, like I said, this I used just water, then the Iron X, then right there just water. And right now I'm going to do a little bit of a test here to see how much of a difference there is. Alright, so this is the wheel with Iron X. What I'm going to go ahead and do to get a difference, I have a paper towel here. I'm going to go ahead and clean one of these spokes here. So just keep in mind, I had not touched this yet. Power washed it, Iron X, then washed it again. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this one right here. Try to keep it all on the outside because I did not wash the back of the wheel, obviously. Alright, and there it is. I got a little bit of black right here. That's just because I might have gone to the rear of the wheel a little bit, which obviously I did not clean because I didn't do this by hand. But other than that, where the wet spots are, that's pretty much where I was touching the wheel. And it's all wet, but pretty much fairly clean. So we'll go ahead and compare that to the other wheel. Alright, so this is the one without Iron X, and I can already tell just approaching it, it is much dirtier. So I'm going to go ahead and get another cleaning paper towel here, try to stick with the outside. And that's good enough to prove a point, but I'm going to do the same amount as I did with that one. And there you go. So go ahead and get a close up here. Let me go ahead and flip the LCD screen so I know it's all in frame. This is the one without Iron X on there, if it will just focus, which it won't. Anyway, there we go. This is without Iron X, just power washing. As you can see a little bit of the dark brake dust and tar or whatever on there, versus this one only has a little bit. That's because I reached to the back. So there's the proof, and this one should have been dirtier because that was the front wheel. That definitely had a lot more brake dust on it because it's using those front rotors a lot more. So with that said, there's kind of proof that the Iron X does definitely work. So anyway, like I said, I'll put the link in the description to where you guys can check that out. And until then, thank you guys for watching and have a great day.